with the bird box and a 2-foot overhang, I don't have an easy way to, because that's a big area to cover. I could use the flat stock, but I know it'll oil can, it'll start to go funky. You'll get waves in it and things like that. So what I've done here is just cut, so this is the fascia material, and so it's got a few of the ribs stamped in it to kind of keep it straight and keep it flat. And so all I do is with the fascia, it's got the return, like a 1-inch bend on it. So all I've done here is rip that off on these sections, ripped it off, and then just use it as flat stock, basically overlapping. And so I don't know, I can't really come up with a better way of covering all this. So that's what I've decided to do here. So I'll take you along as I do that side. So this side's complete, so we'll do the other side and go from there. Okay, so we're at our little cut station here, and so I've measured and determined that I need a piece 26 inches and then 22 inches. So measure 26 and then 22, so 48. Around. So we'll cut this to length, and then we'll go on the bender and rip this off. So I found that it's easy to do it on the bender. I can put it in and use it as a straight edge to basically run the knife in the back of it a few times, score it, and then with the bender I can bend it off. Okay, so there's our 26, 22. I guess I can draw the line here. Eventually we'll cut that off. Bring it down a bit. And slide it in until it hits. And I lock it down. At the same time, I just open it up slightly. Then I can get my knife in there. A few times scoring it. Use the bender just to bend it a bit. Bend it the one way, pull it back a bit with your fingers. There, you hear the snap. And so there. We now have flat stock with the ribs in it that gives it a little more stiffness and allows It prevents the oil canning basically. So here now we can cut this to the 2 lengths we need. Okay, and now what I'll do is I'll put a 1-inch return so that it folds over. And so again, I can use the brake here for this. Just stick it in close. Measure for my 1-inch. 1 inch. Lock it in place. And again, use the bender. Come up to 90. And there, we now have our 1-inch return. So that's on the longer piece. Now we'll do the shorter piece here. Lock it in, bend it to 90. All set. Okay, let's see how we did here. So the first one, basically right like that. We'll make sure that it's nice and level, so that the lines keep going, and then all we have to do is cut on a 45, so mark it maybe here. I gotta take that screw out. Okay. level. Okay, that's that. And then this fascia piece, I'll bring it so that it comes right down to the edge here. And so when I put it on, we'll put a few more screws. So this is really just to hold it for now. Just to tack it in place. The next one here, it'll go on something like that. Mark it there. Mark the angle of our roof, in this case 12 pitch or 45 degrees. We'll cut this guy off. Okay, check the level. I got one more here. I can first cut the miter on it. Okay. there we go. So I'm sure there's 100 different ways to do this, but this is the way I've come up with it. And the lines don't look too bad. You know, they match the lines on the fascia, obviously, since it's fascia material. And yeah, like I say, when I do this peak here, it'll come down and I'll just bring the material all the way down here. And so it'll hide any of these gaps, and it'll get cut right here at the seam. So you'll see the lines coming up like this from the in the material here. So that'll continue all the way down. So then you'll just see these horizontal lines from this shadow onwards. So I think that'll look okay. So let's get to it. I notched around here. I put a couple screws in temporarily to hold it so I could get a good measurement down here, and then took it down and was able to score the line there, because I guess you could cut it on the lift here, but I just find it easier to and I get a cleaner cut if I take it down and score it a few times and then snap it. So here you can see that looks pretty good there. So I gotta finish putting screws in here to hold it, and then cut the angle down at the bottom there. But I think overall it looks pretty good. Nice straight lines, and yeah. Okay, put a nice 45 on there. That's a nice straight line from this trim all the way down where it meets the peak here. So I think that looks pretty good. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Nice finished miter there. Come down the side here. Kept it nice and tight. I had to loosen this screw a bit and push it up a little higher. It was skewing down slightly, but as soon as I took that screw out, pushed it up a little higher, then I got the screw in here. This is good, and then I just have to go and mark and cut that so that it's flush on the end there. I just run it long. This is a full length piece, 10-foot length, so able to just cut that little piece out. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I just have to go and put the rest of these screws for the gable trim on, and so I'll go up there and do that, and then this is done. This last screw. So that's the finished product. So as I said, we put the horizontal pieces and then run the last fascia on the angle following the roof line. So I don't think that looks too bad. And this is the up close look. So again, I just score it on the back there, mark it, and then cut it. So that just trims it off nicely there. A couple of strategically placed screws so it doesn't warp. Hopefully it doesn't oil can too much, but I don't think it will with these ribs in it. So that kind of stiffens up the material. And I think overall it looks good. So there we are. The first peek over the front door here is complete. So now it's a matter of moving on to this section here. So I got to finish the got to put the roof flashing here, or sidewall flashing that gets zip taped to the sheathing there, and it kicks out any water that hits that roof. And the sidewall flashing up there, up that section, and then I can do the soffit and fascia up to that peak and then back down over here. And so yeah, that's the next thing we're going to tackle. Alrighty, that looks good. Now it's a matter of just bending it back a bit, putting screws there, and then we'll tape it. Okay. And then that way any siding that we put up here, that any rain that hits that siding will come down and get kicked out onto the roof.
Yeah, but we still have to put that breathing net mesh on it too, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Because this will be cedar.
This will be the cedar shakes, and so yes, the
how do you attach that mesh?
just staples. Stapler, you know, the hammer stapler.
Yeah.
And yeah, that just gives a little breathing airspace behind the cedar shakes.
Okay.
And yeah. Okay, I gotta switch to the flat screws for the sidewall here.
Oh, that fell right back in.
Well, it's because the steel is so thick, and for these screws that they just have a point, and they don't really drive into the steel too well. So it's kind of hurts if you miss.
Now you're gonna skip the end because you still have to put the sidewall on.
Yeah, I just wanted to get a screw in. Yeah, okay.
Because you'll have to go through 3 layers.
Well, I gotta bring the sidewall down and meet it. So here, we'll continue on here. Okay, switch sides.
Oh.
See? Because the bit, I don't know, these screws, the bit is kind of loose with them. So it's,
I forgot there's no door.
yeah. See, should almost pre-drill it. Then I need a 3rd drill. So we need that other piece. We'll put it in and just tuck it under part way. Continue it along.
Look at the pollen.
Yeah. Okay. You good there?
Yep.
I'll just
Tack those 2 together.
yeah.
Whoa! Did you get your finger?
Nope.
Ooh, close one, huh?
Hot. It was just hot.
Hot stuff.
The heat generated was just I don't know why the screw needs to be so big. Could be a smaller size screw. That's what they give you. But it is self tapping, but still, because it's such heavy gauge steel, there's a lot to it. There we go. Okay. Switch to these other screws.
Switch drills.
Switch drills, yeah. Okay, switch sides. There we go.
Okay. Go back to that side and do sidewall.
Well, may as well tape it while we're here.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right, down to taping.
This flashing is on. We got it zip taped all across here, the front. Now I just have to measure for the sidewall, that sidewall trim that comes down and meets this. So that's why the gap here. Once we get that sidewall in, then we'll tape it all, and it'll be all nice and waterproof, ready to go. And then we can move on to the soffit and fascia. So yeah, all this just so we can finish the soffit and fascia. But anyways, here we go. Sidewall flashing done, zip taped, looks good. Comes down here, so any water that hits here will dump here and then down there. So sheds the water away nicely, and all of that so we can now do our soffit and fascia here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet because of the ribs of the roof, but I don't know, maybe I'll just start it flat right across, and there may be a gap there. I don't know if we have that foam that we could put in there. I'm not sure.
Yes, we.
Anyways,
well, we did. I don't know if you threw it out, mister. I just throw it out in the garbage.
Well, we'll see. First set of soffit going in here on this peak. Looking pretty good. Catherine's downstairs cutting more. So I got the J-channel up this side. So now I need to run the J-channel down the other side here. So it was a wasp's nest up there. So I did spray it. I'm hoping that there's no one in there. Doesn't look like there is, so I'm hoping it's dead. Oh, just as we speak, here's one right flying right there now. Anyways, if I don't disturb them, hopefully they won't come after me. So. Here we are, almost the end of the day. Well, it's dinner time, so here's the update for today. So we got all of the flashing in above the roof here. It's all zip taped back to the zip sheathing, and this just kicks any water out that hits the siding that will eventually be put up here. We're actually doing cedar shingles, and so any water that hits the shingles will drop straight down, and then that flashing will kick it out and ensure that it gets on the roof and away from the building. And then there's the sidewall flashing here. Again, same sort of deal. Any water that hits the siding will get kicked out and away from the building. So I had to do all of that in order to put up the soffit and fascia. So we did the soffit and fascia up here, up to the peak. So nice miter at the peak, and then drop down on this side, and then this weird angle. Yeah, came out great. I love the look of that with the black and the gray roof. It really ties it all together. I think the green zip sheathing is throwing everything off right now, but eventually that'll be a cedar shingle when it comes in. We've ordered it, so should be in another week or two. So by then, hopefully, we'll have all the soffit and fascia done, and then we can get on to the siding. So anyways, there's the update. A lot of work, a lot of tedious work. It's just time consuming, making sure every little cut works. Catherine did a great job cutting all of the soffit pieces so they all fit really nice. It just looks I don't know, what's the word, crisp, clean. It just cleans everything up instead of seeing the wood, the 2x6 wood that was there for so long. And so then it ties in obviously the peak over the front porch here. So it just looks great. So alrighty, that's it for now. Moving on to the next piece. So probably the dormer, maybe do that tomorrow. The dormer over there, and then we've got the dormer above the kitchen there. So all of the other soffit and fascia at the front are complete. So it's looking really good. Here's the walk around view of what we've completed so far. So we've got the soffit and fascia around this section, the 3-season porch here, around the front porch here. Continues, turns the corner here, moves along the front porch, around the front door here. So we got those bird boxes all covered. The soffit and fascia above the front door here. This dormer around the side here. The big peak up at the top. Around the front here. So turns the corner here. All of this is done. And then comes around to the end of the building here. So I've got this last little piece of fascia to do, but I figure I'm just gonna put a small piece and wrap it around the corner. And so yeah, that's what we've got at the front here so far. So like I say, the last parts we have to do are up there. This dormer, that dormer needs to be done, so we need to build the smaller bird boxes. I think these are 16 inches, whereas the one on the house is 2 feet. So smaller bird boxes at the top here for the this dormer. And we also have to put in the roof flashing across the front. So again, any water that hits the siding runs straight down, and that gets kicked out, just like we did here on this section of the roof. So we'll have to do that on both of the dormers. But yeah, I'm loving the black trim with the gray roof, the gray siding, the gray stone. Yeah, it's gonna look great. All right, here we are up on the roof, working on the dormer here. So I've started with the sidewall flashing here, got it screwed down, zip taped to the sheathing, and so this wraps around a bit. I put a little bend there, so any water that comes down should just go straight out. That's Catherine inside cutting the soffit for here. So she's, I've measured, and so she's cutting those now. So I've got the sidewall flashing in. I just have to put the J-channel on, and then we can get started. So this side's done. The front is all done. And this side. So again, the sidewall flashing. So any water. Any water that hits the shingles that'll be up here, it'll run down. This flashing will kick it out onto the roof, and so the water will get away from the building. So that's all set. So time for J-channel. I didn't film this section because it's really hard to try and film this stuff, but anyways, it's just some pieces of metal and some zip tape. So anyways, we'll get started on the J-channel now. We have one bird box down. So again, I just run the long piece, level it from the fascia, cut it off. Had this 45 miter already cut, so I nail it and run it long, and then cut it off here flush with this side, and then just run this small vertical piece, put some blocking in behind to hold it, and that's good and solid now. So now I will switch over and do this side, and then we can start running the J-channel. Bird box. So again, horizontal piece coming across the miter, make sure it's nice and level here, and then the vertical to tie it all in. So that's super strong. It gets nailed into the studs here and then back that way, so nice and strong. And so yeah, now I can run my J-channel across here. Catherine's already got the pieces cut, so we're moving on. we go. We've got the soffit all in here on this side of the dormer. We've got the J-channel up and around the peak here, back down. And I've got the soffit in along this side. So that looks really good. Catherine just cut all of these pieces. So I'm going to fill it in here on the peak, and then we can work on some fascia to wrap this dormer up. There's the finished product of the soffit here, up to the peak of the dormer, and then back down. And I just finished ripping this little piece here. So some people would start at both sides and get up to the point even, you know, but I just started on this side, worked my way up, back down, and wherever it lands, it lands. At the end of the day, you're not going to see this minute detail. You know, if this is a ½ inch difference than over there, that kind of stuff, especially not from the ground. The black looks great, and so now all we have to do is the fascia on the front here. So we'll do that after lunch. All right. Here's the latest update. This dormer is now complete. I didn't film any of that this morning. The neighbors were having some trees taken down, so there was lots of noise going on, so not easy filming there. So anyways, this dormer is now complete. All of the soffit fascia done on that one. All around the front of the house here. This is all done. These two peaks. And this dormer is now done. So those look great. Nice, nice and clean looking. And yeah, just this little piece of fascia. I want to basically wrap it around the corner, and so that's where that hasn't been completed yet. And so here I just have Larry down here and working on this section here. So I started to put the J-channel up, and almost up to the peak there for the soffit material. So I've got more soffit cut here. Catherine's cut a bunch more. So I'm going to get up there and install it. So here we go. Alright, so up at the peak, I took a measurement and went down on the bender and just made a 90 degrees. So let's see if that fits. There we go. I think that works. Nice and clean. Slightly out of square coming down, so that's easily adjustable, so we can just fine tune it as we come down. Yes, I have one. Thank you. go. Super strong bird box. Get hang off it. Make sure the nails are flush. Okay. I can finish putting the J-channel in over here. J-channel in, and close in this bird box. Alrighty, this section of the house is done with the J-channel and the soffit. So it goes all the way up to the peak, back down to the driveway side there. And so I'm going to move on to the lakeside now and keep going along here, and then I'll come back and do the fascia after. It's easier to move when we move Larry, just keep going with it. So yeah, so I'm going to turn the corner here and start putting the soffit along the lakeside there. So. Okay, this bird box built, the soffit put in along here. I did that yesterday, the soffit along that section, so it's looking nice. And then I started to do the J-channel up here, so I'll do the J-channel up there, and Catherine's inside, she's just cutting more of the soffit panels. And so yeah, we'll get that going here. Okay, here we are up at the very peak on the lakeside. So this is, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, maybe 38 feet up above the ground, maybe 40, call it 40. And anyways, I'm not one for heights. I don't go looking for them. So I just keep telling myself, don't look down, don't look down. And I just kind of focus on the task at hand here and try not to think about it. So basically we have the 2x6 fascia outside here, and then it's a 2x4. So there's a slight difference. So I can't just put the J-trim right up against the 2x4. So I'm using the square to basically hold it flat against the sheathing, and then to see where it hits the fascia on the outside, and then I just make a mark on the inside here on the sheathing, and then that'll tell me where to put the J-channel. So like I say, I try not to look down, I just focus on the task at hand in terms of marking this, and try not to think about how high I am above the ground. So, if I do that, I'll be okay. Okay, so now we can use the level here to connect the dots. It's my long straight edge. Where's my line? There it is. Use it to connect it that way. Now we'll do the opposite. So there we go. Now we've got our line drawn. Now we can take a quick measurement from where the last J-channel left off here on this side up to the peak. So 30 inches. So then I can mark it on here on the J-channel I've got. I need it from the other side. Oh. Okay. So 30 inches. Marked it at 30 inches, and then we can cut it there. Put a slice on both sides so that I can cut it in the back here a bit, and then just kind of bend it, bend the front side so that it stays intact. So that when I put this up here, we can just mark it on the back there and there. Okay. Now with your third hand, you somehow find a screw, put it in the drill, and put it back on your marks. Okay, somewhere about there. I guess it would be better if I put the mark on the inside here. I gotta look on the outside, but that's the only way. So flat from here across, and so it has to go on the back side. I guess you could measure this. It's probably 3/8 and do an offset, but I just find it easy enough to just line it up with the back side of the J-channel with your line, and away you go. I think as long as it's more straight than anything, you're not going to notice if it's a 1/16 of an inch one way or the other, right? So, all right. Now it's a matter of adjusting the line down there and screwing it off and go from there. But up here, nothing squeaks so much. This new mount, let me show you. This mount, it's pretty cool. It clamps onto Larry's handle here, and then it's got this flexible adjusting arm, basically. So, anyways, and then it's got this magnetic mount that I put the GoPro 13 on, so it just snaps into place. But anyways, getting sidetracked here. I'm trying to distract myself from the height, so let me finish putting the soffit that I've got. I think 4 left, so let me put the soffit up here and down, and then I can continue screwing it off down there. Alright, here we are making progress down the other side of the peak here. And so yeah, I've got 2 panels left. So I can put those in here, and then I got to frame in the bird box over here so I can continue. I just ran the J-channel long, and then I'll snip it there and bring it down vertically. And but I need to put the framing in first, so we'll work on that after these last 2 panels. It's not easy filming up here, so I just give you an update after the fact. But yeah, it's looking really good down the other side there. That's all done. Looks good. Bird box framed in, and the rest of the soffit installed for this section here. So looking good, looking good. Up to the peak and back down the other side there. So it's looking really good. So I think this is a good spot to break for some lunch now, and then I'll continue the J-channel around there, and we'll continue to put the soffit under that section. That's the dining room area there, so we'll get on to that after lunch. And the sun's coming out this side, so it's pretty hot right now, so it'll be nice to get in some shade and have a little rest for a bit. Okay, got the J-channel up for this section and started to put the soffit in. So it's coming along pretty good here. This section here, Catherine's just ripping this small piece for me, and yeah, then I'll be able to move along here and get this section done. I'll have to extend the J-channel out there. And Catherine's ripped a bunch of the sheets, so all set, ready to go here. It's looking good. Alright, just finishing this last section on the, here we are on the lakeside of the 3-season porch. I've got a few more panels. I just finished building the bird box here. Put up the J-channel, and Catherine's cut a bunch of the panels, soffit panels, and so I'll begin installing those along here, out to the edge here. So let's get started. There we go. Catherine ripped just a little bit of the tongue off the last one here, and so it fits in there nicely. Helps to keep going square the whole way down, and then you get a nice even line all the way down here. So that looks good. So yeah, this section is done. So now I either have to do this side of the 3-season porch, but the ground, I gotta bring probably Larry up from that side. I don't think I can reach from this side, just the way the ground is down here. And our rock pathway kind of ends where Larry is now, so it's hard to reach up in this section here. So I think I have to do it from the driveway side. So it's either work on this up there, or while I'm here, I got this section to do up top there, up to the big peak there. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll start over here. Got to start with some J-channel there, and then carry it up the peak there, and complete that section. Oh, and then we've got the 2 dormers at the Lakeside dormers, so I have to work on those as well. But all of the lower section is done now, and then after I'll come back and do the fascia. And yeah, so it's looking great. All right, I'm here to put the fascia on this end wall here. I'm trying to work in the shade. It may seem like I'm jumping around in terms of where the work is, but right now it's about 35 degrees Celsius, and with the humidity, I think it's low 40s, so super hot. So I'm trying to stay busy, stay working, but obviously in the shade. I don't want to be in the direct sun. So anyways, long story short, I'm going to cover this section of the bird block here with some of the soffit material that I've ripped the tongues off, and yeah, see if we can get this covered. This is the large peak beside the driveway here, so it's currently in the shade now, so I'll see if I can get this section completed here. So let's get to it. Well, it seems like it was even too hot for the GoPro. It kept shutting off, so I'm not sure what exactly I captured, but here's what I've got completed so far. So this, so starting at the bird box, worked my way up. These are individual sheets that I just kept overlapping, so that turned out pretty nice. The first one, it actually wraps around the corner here and continues down the line there, so that looks good. And then the last piece, so it starts up there and runs all the way down here and then just cut the angle at the bottom here. So it's looking pretty good. So the main thing is just keep overlapping as the water falls. So that's why this one ends there, so then the next one will overlap and go up to the peak. Actually, I probably need another piece before it reaches the peak, because these are 10-foot lengths, and that's probably another 12 feet. So anyways, continuing on, at least I'm working in the shade here, but the sun's going behind the house, and so anyways, I should be able to get another section up there before I see the sun. So on second thought, I think it's time to go put my bathing suit on and jump in the water there. It's pretty darn hot. I've been in a couple times already today, but time for another swim.